played with and against a number of great international backs during your career. If we talk about centres, the toughest ones are amongst sort of Frank Bunce, Sterling Mortlock, Mike Tyndall, O'Driscoll, Conrad Smith. All different.
All very different. Like you say, with Buncey, and he was just, he had a bit of aura about his physical nature, and you knew that you're in for a bit of a physical contest with him. And I remember that, being a young guy playing against him. I think probably played more so against Sterling Mortlock, and I really respected the way his game and how it developed, and the kind of player he became. With Brian, he was probably the best attacking centre that you come across. But again, we didn't play enough against each other, and I never played against Conrad, apart from when I played Petone versus University.
Right.
In his very younger days, and he beat me, and I remember that. I think he kept reminding me about that day.
Tell me about playing with and against another guy who loomed large in the All Black circles around your time, Jonah Lomu. How difficult was it to compete against that man?
Well, to be honest, I think with coming through in the same era as Jonah, he really helped my rugby, because I started off as a winger, and the New Zealand Colts, in the trials I marked him, and I went the very first, I think, try that he got. I went the way a lot of players went, and then I ended up face down on the ground and then running around me. But I didn't give up. I got a couple more opportunities against him, and I didn't do so bad that day. And I really think that's what got me into the final side. So, and I think he was just the benchmark of all us young guys coming through who wanted to play on the outside backs. That you'd have to come against Jonah and try your best. It was like, if you can go well against him, then people will notice. So, that's how I think we all held him coming through, and obviously getting to play with him so much when he came to Wellington and the Hurricanes and in the All Blacks. I think you never come across anyone that with something like that. He had the speed, the power. You wouldn't find a more, how would you say, giving person. He always wanted to give for the team, give for the players. He always helped people out. And I suppose it's a little bit sad that we obviously didn't get to see more of him, and all his issues that he's going through now with his health, and but playing with him during that time when it was first coming on, and we feel a little bit bad that we didn't know more about it. He kept it to himself quite a bit, and
And I still find it staggering that here is a man with that illness who was still able to swat away any number of men who are big physical defenders in a game. It just seemed extraordinary to me.
Yeah, exactly that. That last year that he had, and he played for us. We had all us players were wondering what was wrong with him, and but he could do things that no one else could do, and we didn't know the issues that he was going through, but he was still, like as you're saying. In some periods of games, he was just doing outstanding things, and I was, that's the journey with. And then all of a sudden, we'd think, then you'd, it's fitness, he's not doing enough work. And then you'd see him working as hard as he can. And then you hear that he's got these things happening in his body that no one else could probably cater for and could deal with. And he was turned up, not wanting to make a big issue out of it.
Speaking of extraordinary men, a guy who followed you as All Black captain, got quite an extraordinary career. Does it amaze you that he is still going, A, as a player, and B, as the captain after succeeding you? He's still going at great guns, isn't he?
I don't think I'm not amazed that he's still going, because I think I don't think I've ever met a person that has such mental fortitude that he'll just will himself to go. And I think you saw that last year when he'd had such a long time off, having a sabbatical, and then all of a sudden, first test, you'd think he'd never skipped a beat or never missed a game, because to be able to play at that intensity as he did, and in a test match, let alone, it was like it was just, Richie's always been playing here, and I think that's just his biggest attribute is just his state of mind and his mindset that he can force himself to go where a lot of people don't like to go, and that's what I've always respected about him, and it'll be when he decides to go. I think he puts his body in places no one else likes to continuously, knowing that it'll be some people will be trying to hurt it.
You discovered the grind and what it's like after 70 odd tests, and here he is playing as a loose forward in 120 and still probably keeping going till the next World Cup.
Well, this is right. I wouldn't bet against him not reaching that. So, I think we're a lot better off having him around and being able to teach and the new guys coming through.
While he's doing that, your challenges are in the coaching area, and you've got counties again, Ranfurly Shield and all this sort of stuff. Tell me about that excitement of last season.
Yeah, well, the Ranfurly Shield was something that I thought that I'd never get my hands on. I was never able to do it as a player, and then as a coach, I thought, we'll go down and have a crack. And to be honest, we didn't talk about it that much, one, because I thought, well, it's never going to happen for me. So I said, and I apologised to our players, I said, sorry guys, it's probably not going to happen in my lifetime, but you just never know if we just... So we kind of, I think, took that out of the equation a little bit. But it's been a lot for us in terms of our community and the people that have been able to see it and touch it, and it did a lot for our players as well. Just to give them a bit more self-belief that they can do things when they set their minds to it.
So have you attracted some more exciting talent to the area this year, do you think?
I think we have. I think we're seen now as a viable team that you can push for further, for further aspirations. And we've been fortunate enough to sign Pauliasi Manu from Auckland and Jordan Tolfua from Canterbury. These guys, obviously, Jordan's from South Auckland, so he's virtually just coming home, and Pauliasi's just coming down the road from, but into the Chiefs region. So pulling these kind of quality players in has always has probably been a first for us. We've had to rely on a lot of youngsters and a lot of local talent, but again, these guys that have come through our systems now, the likes of Tim Denai-Williams, Fritz Lee, who's gone overseas, and Sherwin Stowers, and Simon Lamola. These guys have been sticking around for a long time. They've probably paved the way to show that if you stick with it, and we do some good things, and adhere to the basics of the game, that there is a future for you at our union.
What about you? Are you going to stick with coaching? Is this something that you see you want to go further in coaching, or where do you see that leading to? What are your aspirations?
I think I'm like any other coach. I want to be the best I can be, and obviously the pinnacle coaching is always to be coach of the best team, and that's the All Blacks, I believe. But they only have 3 coaches here, 1 head coach, so there's a lot of us coaches out there.
So you're quite happy. It's not a hurried journey. You want to learn a lot slowly.
Oh, exactly, and I think that's the best way to do it. I've been overseas, I've learnt over there with Toulon. I've come back now and I'm learning at a more base level, and I'm really enjoying that and giving back to local talent. And I think playing at the top level now, our role as ITM coaches and those below is to keep developing talent so we can keep our status as the #1 team in the world. And I think in South Auckland we've got a great catchment of players, and I think that's what we should be doing, trying to keep our country strong and the All Black brand strong. So we want to make sure that the players that come through can represent them and themselves and their families well.
Great stuff. Well, we hope you keep developing, Tana, in your coaching and in your career. Lovely to have you here today.
Cheers, Wood.